What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to G Myers World Podcast. And right now, we're going to be taking a look at Week 17, 2023 in the NFL season, Thursday Night Football, Cleveland and the New York Jets. All right, now, before you guys say anything, everybody knows that the New York Jets are terrible. Okay, so I don't want us to come as a shock, but Joe Flacco beat the brakes off of them. All right, this is not something that anyone expected to happen any other way. I don't think that even if the NFL tried to script this differently, it couldn't have happened any different because the Jets are so bad, it doesn't really matter. All right, when you have Trevor Siemian, okay, as your starting QB, you're probably going to lose. All right, like more than likely, like no matter where this guy has been, he has sucked. Okay, now. I think Zach Wilson still has concussion protocol. He sucks too, so it doesn't matter. Aaron Rodgers, if you guys are expecting, look, this is what I figured out about the Jets, right? Even if you believe that next year when Aaron Rodgers comes back, that all of a sudden they're going to be a magical team, I got a bridge that I'm selling. If you guys are that stupid, okay? Because the Jets have a lot of issues, and we got to see that it's not only offensively, but also defensively. Because even though your offense sucks, you can't give up all those points in the first half. You can't just give up 34 points, dude, and have Joe Flacco looking like he found the fountain of youth, bro, running around doing whatever he wants like he's with the Ravens winning the Super Bowl. You just can't do that. All right, so let's go through what happened with the Jets, okay? Pretty much they had no offense. There was nothing they could do. Breece Hall was the best player on the Jets. He had 84 yards, 13 carries. That was it. Trevor Siemian, 261 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He was sacked twice. He sucks. He had a QBR of 34.9. He sucks. And that's ultimately what was going on. Highest receiving yards, Garrett Wilson. You know, not too much of a shock. He was the offensive rookie of the year or something last year. Whatever he was, dude. He sucked, dude. Listen, bro, I'm going to be honest with you. I got to figure out what would be the fix. You know, like how you look at some teams and it's like they're one piece away? The Jets are 37 pieces away, and we got to figure out what pieces need to be replaced. I don't know what they were doing, but it was really embarrassing, and it was annoying to watch because you're still an NFL team. So regardless of what is happening, you still got to find a way to do stuff. And they were just out there just letting stuff happen to them. So it wasn't about them trying to do stuff. It was them getting stuff done to them. And it was just really nasty. And that's all that, ultimately was all about. And it just sucked. Everything about that team is terrible. Okay, it doesn't really matter. Both New York teams, in fact, are absolutely trash. Okay, so now we jump over to the Cleveland Browns. And I want to go ahead and tell you guys this, right? You know that the Jets could have signed Flacco, right? You Jet fans. All right, before you guys start raging at me about, oh, yo, you going in on the Jets, bro, what's up? You guys could have signed Joe Flacco, all right? When Aaron Rodgers got hurt, he was available. And everybody passed over him for the most part, with anybody that had injuries at that time, namely the Jets. And, you did whatever you wanted. Somehow Trevor Siemian ended up on the team. I don't even know how that all happened, but whatever, I don't really care, right? So when you see this happening, I just want to make sure everybody understands. Nobody really respected Joe Flacco while he played and when he got all that money from Baltimore because he sucked after they won the Super Bowl. You guys remember that? And then the whole thing about, when Lamar Jackson got there and Lamar Jackson was in his first playoff game and they were booing Lamar Jackson. They wanted Flacco back in. You remember that whole debacle that was going on? That was because Joe Flacco was playing terribly. All right. Now, a lot of times when we see this kind of resurrection of a player, it just means they needed a new surrounding, right? The defense of the Browns are like, whenever they want to go out there and play, they're unbelievable. So what does that do? That gives Flacco a lot more time with the football. All right. You can see that he still has a big arm. I don't know if you guys remember Jay Cutler, right? From the Bears. He sucked, but his arm was outrageous. So when you're able to make certain throws, like when he rolled outside the pocket and he's hitting dudes on the run, it's just like weird stuff going on, hitting Jerome Ford. When you naturally can flick the ball like that, it creates a problem for defenses because you're not supposed to be able to do that typically. Like some of the, greatest quarterbacks that we've seen, that had big arms, they were pocket passers, Elway, different, dudes that had those ridiculous stuff. Maybe Michael Vick was one of the mobile ones that could just flick his wrist and he was throwing it like 70, 80 yards. But Flacco doesn't appear to be the kind of guy that can do the stuff that he was doing yesterday. And all I'm saying is, when you get comfortable, you're able to do a lot of things that people think you can't do. You see what I'm saying? Because Joe Flacco was not playing like this when they wanted to get rid of him in Baltimore. Okay, he just wasn't. So you got to look at Cleveland and be like, yo, what's going on? Like, what makes this guy feel the way that he feels right now, where he's just playing like you know what I'm saying? Like everything is just really calm and collective. And it's because of the fact that I think he has another chance to kind of recreate himself and make him, be that guy that he should have been after he won the Super Bowl in Baltimore. Now, I don't know if it's because they drafted a quarterback, even though they took Lamar like 32nd. I don't know if that offended him and he just didn't care anymore, or if it was because he got his money. But again, listen, I understand when a player's playing bad. I'll be the first to tell you, hey, you suck. Come here. Let's go into the locker room. You know what I'm saying, bro? Let's go. You suck, dude. And you got to go. So I get it with the Ravens. What I don't get is the fact that the Jets had a chance to sign him, and he still is, he's a Super Bowl winning quarterback. You would think that they would go after that because it wasn't like the money was going to be an issue, and they would have pretty much had a chance to make some plays. You see what I'm saying? But when you look at your roster and you have the MILF Hunter and Zach Wilson, and then you got another idiot, Trevor Siemian, just running around, and it's like a parade in a circus, in the locker room. That's a problem, because you got to remember, you got to look for the most suitable person. Aaron Rodgers, right? You would think that if you were looking for somebody, it would be another guy that has won at least one Super Bowl. That's what you would think, because that's what you were trying to build with New York. You see what I'm saying? That's why you brought, Aaron Rodgers in. And by no means am I saying talent-wise, Joe Flacco compares to Aaron Rodgers. I'm just saying if you're looking for a replacement, it would have made sense for them to go to someone that actually has been there before. And that's not what they did. So now we're here, right? And then we're seeing Njoku. He had 6 receptions for 134 yards. He went absolutely nuts. He was a top player, but you got to remember Cooper was out. He has a heel injury, all right, because he just healed the last dudes that they played last week. We had like 200 or something yards and a ridiculous stat line. So they had to give him some rest as they get prepared for the playoffs, which they are in right now. And like I told you guys, in the beginning of this season, when I started doing this podcast for this year, I told you guys, I said, look, the Browns, if they keep playing defense like savages, it's going to be a problem because they should be able to score based on their offensive setup. It might be a blessing in disguise that Deshaun Watson was out for the season, because something's going on with him too, and I don't know what it is, but I think his career might be over, realistically, because I think he's mentally just not there anymore after everything that went on with him, and he just doesn't look the same, and he says a lot of weird stuff, so I don't really know what's going on with him. So he might have to go. The same way Russell Wilson is out with the Broncos, he might have to actually go and just leave for this team to continue to grow, because I don't believe he's going to be able to be that Deshaun Watson that was with the Texans. I don't think we're going to see that type of light. I think they have to move into another direction and maybe send Deshaun someplace else. But I don't know how that'll work out for him. He's going to get his money regardless. He probably should just retire, to be honest, because he wasn't that good this year anyway, even when he was there. So the Browns going forward after this, I don't know what's going to happen, but this is what's interesting. The Browns have a chance to do a miraculous run. And who else but Joe Flacco? Who else but Joe Flacco at this time to do it? With a defense that's playing like that, and Cooper coming back, and Njoku playing the way he's playing, Elijah Moore sometimes goes crazy, Jerome Ford out of nowhere is doing whatever he wants. This could be a major problem for the league. I'm just letting make it. Look, bro, even though I told you a lot of other teams can't really upset anyone, this defense can upset people, and they can score points on anyone. Do I believe that they are as dangerous as the Ravens? No, I don't think so. But wouldn't it be hilarious if somehow the Browns matched up with the Ravens and you got to see Flacco versus Lamar? It would be hilarious. I would still take the Ravens in the game, but you just never know what's going to happen in those type of matchups. You see, like, it's going to be a really, really exciting playoff, and I can't wait to get there. But ultimately, exactly what we thought was going to happen happened. The Jets suck, and that's ultimately what it is. Continue to have a happy holiday and a happy new year, and we'll see you soon. Remember, you can download this podcast for free. iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spotify. Search G-Miles World Podcast on Google. I'm going to see you guys and girl next time. You enjoy your day. One love, y'all.